O'Neill Outside Radio is brought to you by these fine sponsors. True Turn Hooks, hook more fish. Roadrunner Lures, out fishing ordinary lures since 1959. Fire Aid, don't fight fires, extinguish them. Crocodile Bay Lodge, Costa Rica's best fishing and resort destination. The Whitetail Institute of North America, the gold standard for food plots. Bug Band Insect Repellents, naturally derived insect repellents. Works Power and Garden Tools. Fisher's Choice, the ideal solution to live bait. And by Tough Shed, great storage sheds and custom buildings.
Good morning, boys and girls, from Black Powder Headquarters and the Bojangles Studio high on Sassafras Mountain. CVA presents Real Tree Radio. Welcome to a brand new, unused Saturday morning. Good morning, boys and girls, from the Bojangles Studio high in the mountains of North Georgia. O'Neill Outside presents Real Tree Radio. Welcome to a brand new, unused Saturday morning. Yes, indeed. We hope you'll join us this morning. Let me give you the telephone numbers. You might want to give us a call and talk about outdoors. No politics, no Trump, no Democratic Congress. It's time to enjoy the outdoors with your family and friends, and we're talking about that this morning, as always, over the next couple of hours, and your input is most welcome. It's 6 minutes after the hour, so the telephone numbers are, should you want to join us, 404-872-0750, or outside the Atlanta calling area and worldwide, 800-972-8255, 800-WSB Talk, T-A-L-K. You can tune us in also on Facebook. There's several people who do so every morning. Woman Williams will be with us in a little while, and we'll handle the radio show as we always do with your participation. We'll have the Medal of Honor tribute, the Silent Hero recognition, and we have several things to talk about this morning. The Southern Grind guest book questions, all about those things, and the subject of how do you hunt after the rut? Most places, except for Alabama and parts of Mississippi and way down in southwest Georgia, the whitetail rut is about to end, except for those places. So what are your strategies for that? And what are your strategies if you are not a leaseholder or landholder and you hunt public land? How do you hunt that public land that can make you more successful? We've got a lot of things to talk about. Fishing, we'll have the Mac Farr Ram Report and so many other things, including your calls. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. Give us a call. How is your season going? I have a lot to tell you about Travis in Texas, and we'll be back. Welcome back. Failing in my obligations, I'm always proud to tell you that this program is brought to you every Saturday by Hayes Auto Dealership, CVA Muzzleloaders, Realtree, Striplings, QDMA, Tough Shed, Pennington Seeds, Zach Brown, Thorogood Boots, the Governor's Gun Club, Horsetown, Cherokee County Toyota, Snellville Heating and Air, Bodyplex, new sponsor, and of course, Swaggerty's. So, if you haven't given Swaggerty's a try, please look them up. So, what do you think? How has your season been? How's your deer season? Did you not get what you wanted during the rut? Was it a satisfying season? Wet on the weekends? Cold? Unproductive? What? The season is over. The rut is over. The season is not in most places. And the rut is over in most places. So what is the primary, what's your primary strategy? All right, let's chat about that for a minute. And I'm here to tell you that before I get to those reasons, I'm here to tell you that O'Neill's research and O'Neill's opinions and advice that I'm about to give you on this subject, and practically every one I ever talk about, is supported by scientific research. For instance, the subject now is gathered not by my own experience, but by QDMA, the Quality Deer Management Association. And what they say and what I'm saying to you is not campfire gossip. It's not hunt club BS. It's what really happens. QDMA are scientists. They're outdoor professionals. So what they say is your primary target after the rut, when the season begins to trail, beyond a little flicker of second rut activity, is food source. That's what the buck is seeking now. Remember, he's been up and active 24 hours a day for 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month. So he's hungry. And if you haven't put in a food plot on your deer lease or the property you own, then if you have, then that's the target, the food plot. He is hungry. If you have not, then the food source is acorns, oak wood, red oak and white oak stands. A white-tailed deer will walk over corn to get to acorns. Secondly, too, he will rest a lot. He will bed down and rest a lot. Now, I'm not telling you that that the white-tailed deer will sleep for a half an hour or 3 or 4 hours at a time. No, he doesn't. He may sleep for 2 or 3 minutes. Ears are alert, sometimes eyes open. So you have to be, can you stalk him? Man, oh man, I've heard about people doing that. I can't. But I would put my stand or put my blind close to a food source or close to a hardwood stand. That's where I would put my stand. Now, what else shall you do to make your after the rut deer season more workable? And the reason I'm looking to the right is so that you'll know we are via the internet. I am looking at the caller screen at WSB Radio in Atlanta. We're here at the cabin. Gail will be down here in a moment. So I'm looking. That's where the calls come in. So the hunter that uses public land, can he be successful? Oh, wildly so. What are those tips? What shall he do? What is his strategy beyond what I just told you? His strategies are to hunt during the week if you can, hunt late into the season if you can, and go far from the road. Get a map, know where you are, don't get lost. Get a map and go far from the road. Walk deep into the woods, because most hunters that, regretfully, most hunters that use public lands, they'll go walk in 100 yards from the truck and sit down, and you being far away from the road, you let these hunters push the deer to you. So those are the strategies involved. Will it automatically get you a championship whitetail? Of course not. It'll help. It's all, whether you're fishing or hunting, the most productive over the years, the most productive fisherman and hunter, using the same tactics, will always produce more the more he goes. That was easy. I know I had a friend many years ago. He's deceased now, and many of you might remember his name. His name was Junior. Oh my gosh. I started to say, I'll think of his name in a moment. I got it mixed up with an act, the guy on television, Junior Samples. I'll get his name in a moment. Doesn't matter what his name is, but he was an outstanding tournament angler. and he went fishing 2 days a week at least, every week of the year. And he was a very successful tournament bass fisherman. He stayed in tune with the fish. How many times have you seen it that someone will win the Bassmasters Classic? By a fluke or not, but he's a good bass fisherman. And he wins the Bassmasters Classic. Oh, wow! Then he starts on tour and in speaking engagements and appearances, and he quits fishing. And he has a television show maybe. And then he doesn't even qualify for the Classic after that. That happens all so often. Being a bass fisherman is a practiced talent. Here's an example. And I invite your calls, 404-872-0758, 972-8255. Here's an example. It was on a given lake, and I was fishing with Davy Height. And if you heard this story before, I apologize. I mean, I got 2 hours to fill, so I have to say a lot of things over and over. I was fishing with Davy Height. Davy, I think he was 2 times Bassmasters Classic winner, 2 times Angler of the Year. He's a really good bass fisherman and a great guy. We fished one mid-morning years ago. I was in the front of the boat. He was in the back of the boat. The air temperature was 24. The surface temperature of the lake where we were fishing was 42. No, pardon me. Yeah, 42 surface temperature. That's one of those days in which, if you're an angler, that's one of those days in which you say, I think I got a bite. At water temperature of 42, you don't get many bites. We fished for, I'm just going to guess here and say we fished for 4 hours. We caught 7 largemouth that day that weighed approximately 35 pounds. Had a great catch. Here was the difference. I was in the front, he was in the back. Out of those 7 largemouth, I caught 2. He caught 5. I figured he was 2.5 times better than me. Fishing, tournament fishing, is not luck. He was much more precise with his cast. He could feel the fish better. And he was just better than O'Neill. We had a great catch that day, and it was mainly because of Davy. So that's a little bit of a lesson if you're a bass fisherman, a tournament angler, or a deer hunter. A few tips. Just don't walk in the woods with a flashlight and sit down. There's more to it. This is O'Neill. When we return, it's the radio prize package. Time for you to get something out of all this. We'll be back. You're listening to O'Neill Outside, the #1 live outdoor-based radio talk show in the world. And before we get to the radio prize package, let's talk to some of the folks here taking the time to call. Here's Mark in Camden County. Good morning, Mark. What do you say?
Merry Christmas, O'Neill. How have you been?
Yeah, just fine, thank you. Merry Christmas back to you and your family.
Yes, sir. I hear you talking about late season deer hunting. I figured I'd throw a couple of points out there for you.
Please do.
One thing, the mountains, some areas in northeast Georgia, Hall County, Banks, all up through Union. Remember, the rut there is relatively late, usually the weekend after Thanksgiving week. So the secondary rut in that region of the state lines up pretty good for about now.
Yes, it does. You're quite correct.
1st of January. So I wouldn't completely write off the rut there.
Right.
Especially if you're hunting in an area that has an unbalanced deer herd. If you hunt in an area that has too many does, you'll have that many more does come in to heat that second rut, and you can have a relatively strong second rut.
Good
I've
point.
even seen some areas where the second rut's better than the first rut.
Good point. Good point to be made, indeed.
Second thing to remember in the wintertime especially, if you have some good bluebird weather, if you can time that last day of pretty weather right before a major weather system comes in, that is another day to stay in the stand all day. And that is maybe about the only other time that I can think of that you would have a pretty good a better than average shot at getting a decent buck, because just about every deer in the woods is going to get up to feed right before that barometer drops.
You bet. Point well made. You bet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Point well made. Are you headed to the woods this weekend?
Yes, sir. I'm going up to Hazelhurst and lounge around. I don't really plan on shooting anything. I just it's always been my MO just to spend my days in the woods.
There you go. And you're successful doing it. Thank you, Mark. It's always you always bring something valuable to the call, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good Christmas.
We will do that. Thanks, pal. There you go, and we can get my engineer there and Jason to drop that, and there it goes. Okay, who's up next here? And that would be David in Atlanta is calling for O'Neill outside. Good morning, David. Let's see, bring him up here. I wish my screen would work better, Jason. Why don't you come up here?
I brought him up.
Good morning.
Good morning,
O'Neill.
hey, David.
Merry Christmas to you. You doing okay?
I'm doing just fine, David. How about you?
Good. Listen, I've been listening to you since you came on the radio. I'm a truck driver, and I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I'm down here. I'm on my way home right now, but I'm down here every Friday night, Saturday morning before I go home, and you've kept me going. But listen, very, very quick.
Okay.
One of the things, don't be afraid to do late season is, I've said this a million times, we've talked about it a time or two over the years. If you hunt public land, don't pattern the deer, pattern the hunters.
Oh, yes.
Don't be afraid to carry a nice, lightweight climbing stand in the woods with you. Pack your lunch and just go into the woods. Find out where the hunters are, where they're pushing the deer. Go set yourself up and bag something.
Yes.
Makes it a good day.
Yeah, well said.
Makes it a very good day.
Sometimes it's almost like a deer drive.
There you go. Let them do the driving. You do the sitting and have a sip of coffee.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, listen, one quick thing.
Yes.
We just got some bad news in Tennessee this week. We have 3 counties that have deer that have tested for chronic wasting.
I saw that.
Oh, man, I hunt Missouri every year. I'm very fortunate. I married a beautiful lady from central Missouri, and her family's farmers, and I hunt out there every year. And matter of fact, last year I killed a huge, humongous 15-point buck. I've never seen anything like it in the woods, probably never will again. But we've had the blue tongue is kind of hit hard out there the last few years, but the herd's starting to recover some. And we've had that in Tennessee, and I'm sure there's parts of Georgia some. But this chronic wasting, I really do hope that your all's DNR is on top of this, because I mean it is scary. It can devastate a herd of deer.
Yes, it can. And and after the first of the year, we'll be off the air. We'll be running this show next week. But I plan to get some QDMA and DNR people to call and advise us on that, because I've had several people to speak to me this week about that article that you saw about chronic wasting disease in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, I'll tell you.
You bet.
Well, listen, you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and like I say, every Saturday morning for I cannot tell you how many years. How long you been on the air?
27.
I've been listening for 27, my friend.
Good for you. Thank you very much. I'm
All
quite
right, buddy.
flattered and appreciative.
I will try to get to you first thing next year.
You bet. Thanks
Take
for
care,
calling,
bye.
sir.
Bye-bye.
You bet. See you soon. There you go. 31 minutes after the hour. We've had some good calls already and some good instruction and reminders from folks who listen to the program that are hunters that are in the woods. Let's divert for a moment, because we do need to give away some things. Let's divert to the radio prize package. Let me get my list here. Okay. Now, the rules are you have to be 18 years old, and you have never won a radio prize package, let's say, in the last 2 years. Okay, you haven't won. So here is the list of prizes. A $10 Bojangles gift card, a Whitetail Institute DVD called Producing Trophy Whitetails. It's very professionally done. A voucher for Swaggerty's Farms product. We'll send you 2 of those. A DNR hat, Regulations Magazine, keychain, and a Game Check wallet keeper. That's valuable. A Realtree hat and decal combo. Data Sport Forecaster, Moonphase clock. Latest edition of the Angler Magazine, Dude Magazine. 2 cans of Fisher's Choice baits. You want to take a kid fishing? Fisher's Choice Baits. Take a kid fishing and you can sit along the bank. 2 packs of Bug Band web wipes and a Bug Band wristband and a Thunder Chicken casting float by Mark Noble. And here is your question. You should get this probably pretty fast, and I hope my screen is working properly. And it's this. In June of this year, I came out with a book, and a lot of you have ordered that book. The partial part of the title is, not surprisingly, O'Neill Outside. Then there's a quote or a trailer or a tagline that goes with that. What is that tagline? O'Neill Outside, blah, blah, blah. What is that tagline? 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255, 404-872-0750, or outside the Atlanta calling area, 800-972-8255. I failed to mention when the show started. Do we have calls, Jason? My screen's not working properly. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, a lot of calls. Everybody knows already, I guess. Anyway, that's the question. But we are on WSB on Saturday mornings, 27 years. Also, the SB Nation, Sports Broadcast Nation. And that's on nationwide from California to the Northeast and originating there in Texas, Fort Worth, Austin, anyway, it's nationwide. You can listen on the SB network. Let me see if I can make this work. You'll have to help me out with that comment, Jason, when you get a chance. 33 after the hour. One of the things I want you to be aware of is on our website at o'neilloutside.com, before we get to the subject of the winner, and I guess one of these callers will be a winner, at o'neilloutside.com. Right there on the home page, we have the Southern Grind guest book. If you will visit the website and enter your question or your comment, your observation, is it got a big space, is enter here. Send to me your question, your observation, your comment, and if we use that comment on the television show, then Zach Brown will send you one of his famous knives. Now, this knife is not $5.95. You know, that's throwaway. No, the knife we award is a black and tan. What do we call that? A jackal black and tan, and it is a big knife, a larger than knife, and it's a knife that you keep. It's a piece of artwork. Probably if you had to go buy one, it'd be $150. So go to O'Neill Outside, leave your comment, and if we use it, we'll send you the knife. And we're about to get to some of those questions. But right now, I don't see anybody's name. I see lots of telephone numbers. Just a moment. We'll try to work my way through this. I'm not an engineer at all. This has all been set up. I wish you could see it. Set up by Karen Green and her husband, Brian. And we broadcast from my little cabin, or our little cabin, in the North Georgia mountains, and it goes to Houston, Texas. And, Houston, I guess. And it goes also to WSB Radio, and it's broadcast all over the world. It's quite an engineering feat, if you will. Can I listen to you now, Jason? And I can't even hear Jason. How about that? Well,
what's that?
Yeah, Jason.
Yes.
I can't see anyone's name on the list of telephone numbers here.
We're still getting wrong answers for the trip. The prize pack.
Oh, okay, good. Well, people are trying. I thought it was a mistake on my part. All right, it's 36 after. Well, all right, we got to get out of here for the commercials. You guys keep calling. The name of the book, O'Neill Outside, and the tagline. That's what we want. You'll win the radio prize pack. 440. People are still calling about the title to the book or the tagline for the book. Keep it up. We'll get a winner and give away the radio prize package. I hope so. And Woman Williams will be down here in a few minutes, and we'll have her infusion into the show. You can be in touch with her via our Facebook page at O'Neill Outside. It's live. After this will be the last show of the year. We're off next week. But after that, O'Neill Outside Television will be on a lot of the video-on-demand networks, where you can see it on your iPad, your telephone, as a member, if you will, of those video networks like Waypoint TV, Gen 7 Outdoors, Right Now TV, Hunt Channel, Outdoor Action Television, the GONE, Gone TV, and so on. There's a lot of changes in the television business. Traditional outdoor television is fading. The Bill Dance, Roland Martin, Jimmy Houston, O'Neill, Realtree Outdoors, all that is fading fast. And so, but radio's not. No, indeed. It's expanding dramatically. And the SB Nation, Sports Broadcast Nation, that some of you may be listening to us now, will be expanding upwards of maybe 200 stations that will be carrying O'Neill Outside, and you can watch. Well, listen, 4:41 it is right now, and let's take a look at, while we're trying to gather up some answers here, let's take a look at some typical Southern Grind questions. These have been sent in via the website at o'neilloutside.com, and this one is from Terry Coyle in Ackworth, Georgia. If you shot a white-tailed deer half a mile from the truck, would you field dress it and then drag it so it weighs less, or would you drag it and then field dress it so debris doesn't get inside? I'm going to field dress the deer right there because I might want to come back and hunt that site because the coyotes will be all over it by that next evening or the next morning. Yeah, I'll field dress the deer on the spot and drag it. And because I'm going to wash it, I'm going to squirt it out and pressure wash the inside anyway. And I'm going to take it directly to a cooler to hang for a few days, because it doesn't sound very appetizing, but what happens, you leave the deer in the skin and put it in a cooler, let it hang. What really happens is the deer, the flesh tenderizes for a few days if you leave it in the skin. How's that? Okay. Rigor mortis sets in. Cellular destruction. All right. Line 2 has the answer, but I can't raise him up here. There, we see if I can, Jason. Oh, I got him. Okay. All right. We'll get to that. But to answer the question right here, I'll gut the deer and clean the deer. I'll gut the deer and drag it to the truck. The trick is killing them close to the truck. Okay, the question was, what's the title to the book? What's the tagline to the book? And I'll let Jason bring up Rick from Rick is calling from Otto, North Carolina. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, O'Neill.
How are you?
I'm super.
Good.
Super, doing great, sir. How are you?
Just fine, thank you. And what is the tagline to the book?
Well, the book is entitled O'Neill Outside, People and Places Along the Way.
There it is.
65 years in the outdoors.
Have you read a part of it? Do you have a copy?
I'm about a third of the way into it. I haven't had it very long, and I am intrigued with it. It is fantastic, O'Neill.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Outstanding work.
Thank you very, very much. And you were a winner of the prize package, and we will be sending that to you right away.
Me, I'm really a winner.
Yes, you are a winner. What is this is self-aggrandizement here with the following question. Out of the chapters in the book that you've read, which is the best one?
So far, I don't know the exact chapter number. It's the parts I remember reading about you, and let me think. What was the fellow's name in the book? It was an old friend of yours. You were like 9, 11 years old, fishing lakes around DeKalb County, and then going and staying up in the North Georgia mountains with your grandparents and fishing on the Tallulah River.
Okay.
Catching brim, and I remember something about walking down railroad tracks across the river or along the side of the river and catching your first, what was it? Not a brim, a warmouth bass. Warmouth bass.
Yeah, how about that? Well,
yes,
that's a good chapter. We're working on the second book now.
Out from under the track.
There you are. Well, thank you so much, Rick, for participating in a program, and you got a radio prize package on the way.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you for all your hard work.
You bet. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. 4:46 it is right now. There goes Rick. I guess we'll be able to drop Rick off the call. Now let's visit with Tim in Ackworth. Good morning, Tim. It's O'Neill. You're on the air. Is Tim still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Tim, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Good.
Now, O'Neill, how have you been?
I've been working too hard.
I'm telling you, this is Tim Hamby. You got to remember me.
Oh, my goodness. A blast from the past. How are you, my good friend?
I am telling you, I haven't seen you. It's been years.
Absolutely. What was the line of baits that you had? A line of plastics?
I had Salty Sucker Lure Company.
That's right.
Yeah, and I sold that in like 93 or 94.
Uh-huh.
And oh, man, I'm telling you, we fished together probably back in 91, 92.
Oh, man, yeah, a long time ago.
God, does it really seem that long?
Time is a runner, sir. It's a law. You get older every day.
Oh, I am telling you. How long? Okay, say 90. Oh, that was like 27 years ago.
Right. How about that?
Oh, my God.
And I've wondered about you before because we hadn't spoken. I hadn't seen you in the trade, but I remember you had that bait line, and we fished together a couple of times, maybe in tournaments or whatever. Those were some good days.
We caught fish every time we went. We had a ball.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the point. You don't have to win to have a wonderful day.
Oh, no. I tell people, do not judge your fishing trip by how many fish you catch. Judge it by how much fun you have.
There you go. That's good.
And yeah, that makes it a lot better. But yeah, I've been out of the bait business for a long time, and I fell back in 2014, broke all my knees, legs, hips, and got all kind of metal in me. And you know me, I can't stay still, so I'm starting up a new bait line.
Are you
got
really?
my garage set up. Yeah, I got my tables, my garage, and all set up where I can roll around in my wheelie chair, and work my moles and everything. I've got it to where I can pour about 10,000 baits a day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I need to send you some so you can give them away as prizes down there on your show.
I'd love to do that. I do not have a plastics sponsor for the program.
You can give
I'd
away
love to.
prizes and ask them make them answer some good questions.
You betcha. You betcha. What's the name of your bait line?
Softy Lure.
Salty Lure. Okay.
No, Softy. Softy. Softy.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. It's good to hear from you, Tim.
Yeah. Now, how do I need to get in touch with you to send you some baits to give away?
I will. We'll put you on hold right here, and the engineer will give you my address. Or you can reach me, of course. You can reach me through the website.
Okay. O'Neill Outside?
O'Neill Outside, you bet.
O'Neill, it's so good to hear from you again. I miss fishing with you. We had fun.
Yes, indeed. I remember your voice
Oh, yeah, we just get out there. Remember, we went up the Coosa River at one time.
Uh-huh.
Remember up there at the lock and dam and caught all those crappie and white bass?
Yeah. No, people don't go up the river enough, do they?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
You got them trapped up there. Great to hear from you, Tim.
Oh, you too, O'Neill.
See you soon, pal.
All right, see you. Thanks.
There you go. What a great call. Let's see. There you go. I can even drop that, I think. Well, there you are. Okay, 50 minutes after the hour, Woman Williams is here. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I am.
Yes, indeed. I already gave away the radio prize pack.
I heard that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See, you can manage without me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, no, I really can't.
Yeah.
I can't. No. You're a big part of the program. Everybody enjoys the your presence here on the show.
Is it snowing outside?
I don't think so.
Is it supposed to be?
I don't think so. I think it's about 30 degrees, and I don't think it's snowing.
Oh,
I haven't looked outside, of course, but I don't think so.
Okay.
404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. It's 51 after the hour. And now here's Andy calling from Marietta. Good morning, Andy. You're on the radio. How about that?
Good morning, Mr. O'Neill. How are you, sir?
Wonderful. What you got going on?
Well, my call's going to be a two-part. First, I wanted to call and wish you and Woman Williams and everybody a Merry Christmas.
And I thank you.
I've been listening for about a decade and a half, loyally whenever I can, and I just love what you guys do for the outdoor sports and all that. But
thank you.
So yeah, it's a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all that good stuff. But I had a question. I was digging through my grandpa's storage unit, and I found a bow that I didn't even know he had. It's a Bear Grizzly 45-pound recurve.
Okay.
And I know absolutely nothing about archery, and I'm trying to get I need to get it checked out. I want to get a string put on it and learn how to shoot the thing. And I'm trying to avoid becoming a YouTube expert, which is not easy to do.
I understand.
If you YouTube it, you get 1,000 different opinions. I know I can take it to like Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop and get a string put on it, and they can check it out and make sure it's okay.
Yes.
But where could I take this thing to actually shoot it? Living in an apartment, it's not that easy.
I would tell you. Let's see. You live in Marietta. Okay. Here's your place. Ready?
Go for it.
Go to the Governor's Gun Club. It's in Kennesaw.
That was my first thought, was the Governor's Gun Club. Okay.
Go to the gun club. They have 2 archery ranges there, and they have people there that are seasoned archery experts.
Okay, outstanding. All right, so the Governor's Gun Club. They would know about
that bow and how to shoot it, what string to use, arrows. That your best bets. Go to the Governor's Gun Club.
Okay, now would I have to be a member of the Governor's Gun Club?
No, I don't think. I think you can use the archery range and so forth without being a member. I do not know.
Okay.
Just go in and tell them that O'Neill said hello. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, awesome. All right, bud. Well, hey, I appreciate it. And like I said, you guys have a great Christmas and a good New Year. And we're heading out of town right now to go out of town for Christmas, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Good deal.
All right, sir. Have a good day.
Be safe, and I'll hear from you again soon, I hope.
Yes, sir.
You bet. All right, let's see. Let me look at this, honey. I think I can't. I have a habit of. Well,
you having
Jason
troubles
can
today.
drop the call. Somehow or another, I've got my screen. We're going to wind up the first hour of O'Neill Outside. We have a busy second hour coming up, and I want you to stick around for that. It's 57 after the hour, and one of the things I didn't conclude was some of the Southern Grind guest book questions that we use on the show. Now, we'll tell you that a couple of things. The Zach Brown Southern Grind knives, and this is generally, okay, I can't give you details because I don't know them, but the Southern Grind knives profits go to wounded warriors, and other worthwhile charity activities. I don't think Zach Brown makes any money on the knives. But you can reach O'Neill and leave your Southern Grind question. And here's one I'll get to quickly before I have to go. This is from Robert Cravens, and he says he enjoys the show, and he's wondering what caliber shotgun to get. He hunts quail and doves. Okay, I'll tell you what I use and why. I use a 28 gauge because it's light, and I'm more handy with it. I'm more accurate with it, and it's nowhere near as loud. There are plenty of doves. There are plenty of quail, so I use a 28 gauge, and I feel a little bit more rewarded when I'm able to take a bird, a dove or quail, by using a 28 gauge. I am told that now these new import 410s, these side-by-side 410s, these things are designed now, and you can take turkeys at 60 yards, and use a 410 or a 28 gauge. It'll work for you. Okay, 59 after the hour. Another hour of outdoors headed your way, and Woman Williams is with us, and we'll have a busy hour. So it's time for me to say, stay right there, and we'll be back.